I want to thank you for letting me be myself again.
America, the social question is a phrase that references a family of concerns around the industrial market economy, the freedom and wealth this political economy seems to generate, and how this market economy creates all manners of new problems. For example, the narrative holds that we have the ability to buy all of these new mass-produced things and have a little bit of money in your pocket to do it. But these things are produced by workers who are coerced by their circumstances to work in sweatshops, or people who are buried in debt because they don't want to end up in such conditions. In this video, I'm going to update the social question for our contemporary moment in America. Hit the beat. There are a few distinctions popular in American political philosophy. These distinctions mark off different spheres of freedom and the play of rights in our lives. These distinctions are family life, social life, and political life. Now, rights have a different structure in your family compared to your social life, compared to your political life. In this video, I'm going to lay out a flawed ideology that's compelling. In the subsequent videos, I'm going to show how this ideology leads to bad politics, and in America, bad politics disproportionately affects stigmatized populations, including Black people. There's a distinction between family, social, and political sphere, and rights look different in each sphere. In general, rights are how freedom is externalized. Rights talk references a peculiar kind of willing that is recognized by others, who in turn use their freedom to accommodate that willing. I detail this in my video on rights. Real quickly, I ask you not to eat me, you recognize my right, and even though you're hungry, you use your freedom not to eat me. It's not a matter of charity, it's a matter of justice and your recognition of my right. It's important to note that your recognition of my right depends on your freedom. If a lioness were to happen upon me, a lioness being a slave to her appetite, I could assert my right not to be eaten, and the lioness would then devour me as she is a slave to her appetite. In a legitimate egalitarian family, the spouses have a right to co-determine the shape of their domestic life. I explain this in video 9 on marriage. And when a married couple goes outside of the family, this married couple is recognized as a unified whole. For example, I have the right to visit my wife in a hospital in a way that other individuals don't, and nobody else can discipline my kid but me. Those are family rights, as distinct from rights in civil society. Now, these social rights compose the sphere Hegel emphasizes. He argues that modern freedom finds its characteristic expression through civil society. Hegel read Adam Smith, and he looked at the Protestant Revolution and the French Revolution, and he decided that civil society and the market system is the emblem of modern freedom. Through civil society, individuals can buy what we want without worrying about kin or convention. We can work whatever jobs we want. I don't have to be a dentist or a ditch digger just because my dad was a dentist or a ditch digger. So it's this social sphere that's a sphere of individual freedom, and the market coordinates the rights and recognition claims. Hannah Arendt sees that it is in this sphere known as civil society that I'm allowed to discriminate. I can join the clubs I want, with the friends I want, or send my kids to the school I want. The problem is the structure of this social right, which seems to allow individuals to fulfill their individual desires, interferes with the structure of family right. For example, if the only jobs available have me working 70 hours a week, that means I can't really co-determine the shape of my household, raise my kids, etc. It pushes this work to my spouse because I'm too busy making money. In this case, civil society has damaged my right to be an equal partner in the rest of my life. So we need to find, and this is the task of politics, a way to integrate the market-based system of social rights and the family sphere, so that social rights don't preclude the possibility of me fulfilling my duties to my family. Also, so that my family relations don't preclude the possibility of extending my social rights. For example, my family is recognized as a unit to the outside world, so I can visit my wife in the hospital and she can't testify against me in court. But we don't want it to be the case that one spouse can call another spouse's therapist to find out the dirt. And we don't want it to be the case that spouses can't testify against each other in terms of alleged abuse. So we need a third sphere, a political sphere, and it is in this political sphere that we all sit down as free and equal people and hash out how to integrate all of our rights. That generally is how all of the spheres work. So when some social institutions, for example, the big banks, become a threat to the entire market system, it becomes a political issue of how to tell the social actors, the banks, how to break up or that they have to become smaller. To be clear, the political realm is concerned with integrating all of the other spheres of right and is itself a deliberative body composed of free and equal people. Now, without political freedom, that is the freedom to participate as free and equal people to deliberate on how to integrate social rights, some individuals are either disadvantaged or privileged as a matter of their social position or family relation. For example, when we had to decide whether to bail out the bankers or the homeowners, persuasive arguments can be made that the banking lobby simply had a disproportionate amount of clout, so that the banker's apparent expression of political freedom in lobbying on their behalf had a disproportionate effect on political policy relative to the expressions of political freedom homeowners had in those deliberations. Social power in the form of money corrupted the political processes in favor of bailing out the bank. In general, American freedom pins a lot of hopes on freedom of individuals to act in civil society. In coming videos, I'm going to show how this ideology of civil society and social freedom retrenches all manners of political, social, and family privilege and degradation rather than freedom. To recap, much of modern philosophy sees the social sphere as the sphere for freedom. It's a sphere in which many Americans, including white Americans, pin their dignity. We can live where we want, we can hire who we want, and we can send our kids to school where we want to. But social life in America creates a possibility for Americans to misuse this social freedom and exploit the most vulnerable members in its society. How we deal with this is the social question. A helpful way to talk about freedom is to divide our freedom into 3 different spheres with 3 different structures. The family sphere, where adults are free to co-determine the shape of their household and be recognized outside as one unit. The social sphere, where individuals are free to buy, work, live, and associate with whomever they want, and this entails a right to discriminate in their relations. And a political sphere, where adults deliberate as free and equal colleagues to figure out how to integrate all of these spheres of right. In the coming videos, I'm going to show how considering social freedom as a self-standing system, moderated by the market apart from politics, degrades human life in a variety of ways, and how a great many of these varieties of degradation are bad for Black people. Thank you for taking the time to watch this week's episode of The Funky Academic. Please hit the button at the bottom right of your screen and subscribe to The Funky Academic's YouTube channel. Thank you and take care. Bye.